All right, so I think this is recording. Let's take a look here at this problem. We want to solve a triangle. Let's make a sketch. We have a measure of angle C being 41 degrees. We have the length of C being 17. We have the measure of angle A being 11. So this is our side-side angle, the ambiguous case, which with the ambiguous case, you might have a no solution or one triangle or two triangles. The first thing we need to do is to compare this side that's opposite the angle against this other side. With this being 17, it's bigger than 11. So if we're thinking this as a pendulum, this is so long that when we try to swing it to form a second triangle inside there, we can't form a second triangle. It's going to smack into that angle. So we have one obtuse triangle here. We're only going to have one solution. So we have a pair of C's. We've got angle C and the length of C. So let's figure out what the measure of angle A is, because we have the length of A. So we have the sine of 41 degrees divided by 17. We have this A that we don't know what that angle is, and the length is 11. So we can solve for the sine of A, multiplying both sides of the equation by 11. Let's jump to the calculator. We're in degrees. We're set to round to 2 decimals, so that ought to be good enough. Let's take 11 times the sine of 41. Don't forget to close that parenthesis. Divide it by 17. There's the ratio. We want to take the inverse sine of that. 25 25.12 degrees. All right. So now we know that the measure of angle B is 180 minus the sum of these other two angles by our triangle angle sum theorem. $113.88. All right, so let's figure out the length of B. I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. So let's return to this known pair, the C's. And now let's work with the B's. So we have the sine of 41 degrees over 17 and the sine of 113 over B. So if we cross multiply, along the gold diagonal there, we've got 17 times the sine of 113.88 degrees. And along the green diagonal, b times the sine of 41, but we're going to immediately divide by the sine of 41 to get the b by itself. So we've got 17 times the sine, 113.88. Don't forget to close that parenthesis, divided by the sine of 41. 23.69. And that ought to do it. We were given two sides and an angle. We found two angles and the missing side, so we're done. All right, well, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.